With United putting in terrible performance after terrible performance, I thought it would be worth looking to the future. A future where we're not going to be plagued by underperforming players season after season. But in order to get to that future, we need to ship some of this deadwood now. So here's 5 players who will leave Manchester United in the summer, starting off with Jonny Evans. This one's fairly explanatory. I mean, he's 73 years old, injured all the time, out of contract in the summer. Could he come back from injury and put in some solid performances as the middle centre-back? Of course he could, but given the fact he's on £65,000 per week, are we really getting value for money? This season, Evans has featured in 12 games for the club. His annual salary is £3.38 million, meaning we've paid Evans £281,666 per game played. And yes, you can make the argument that Evans wasn't signed to start every week. He's there to provide guidance for the younger centre-backs and provide a wealth of experience, having actually won a Premier League, which no one else in the squad can say that they've done. But you can't deny we're getting robbed blind when it comes to these wages. What I will say is fair play to Evans, because he did step up when he needed to, especially last season when we had one of the worst injury crises the club has ever seen. But with all due respect, I think there's more chance of Manchester United offering me a contract than Jonny Evans this summer. Evans will leave the club this summer on a free transfer. Malacia. The first signing of the Ten Hag era. No one will be surprised here. Although Malacia is only 25, he was out all of last season due to injuries, and when he has returned to the side, Amorim only picked him to play 8 times before putting him on loan, not impressing on any of those occasions. Stevie Wonder could see that his physicality fell off of a cliff, and the fact that Amorim preferred to play Diogo Dalot at left wing back speaks volumes. Malacia was sent out on loan to put him in the shop window, but will PSV take up their €10 million buy option on Malacia? It's yet to be confirmed. From the whispers I'm hearing, it doesn't look as though they're going to take United up on that offer. Nevertheless, again, in terms of value for money, we're currently not seeing any return with Malacia, and with his physicality being a shadow of what it was, it's about time we get him off our books. Although Malacia is only on £37,500 a week, which isn't too bad when we compare him to some of our other players. Unlucky for him with the injuries he picked up, but Malacia will leave the club this summer for a fee in the region of £5 to £10 million. Victor Lindelof. Now, there's an argument here to say that we could offer Lindelof a new contract and he could become the heir to the Jonny Evans role at Manchester United. I mean, he has shown some value when he's come into the side, but given this is supposedly the start of a new era at Manchester United, I don't think signing the now 30-year-old Victor Lindelof to a lifelong contract would be the smartest of moves. He's currently on 120k a week, and his next contract will most likely be his last major payday. So unless we can offer some compensation, which we would have to, given he's literally a free agent in the summer, meaning his next club is going to have to fork out even more on his salary, we would have to compete with that. It also doesn't sit right with me that if we do offer Lindelof another contract, that he would actually qualify for a Man United testimonial match. You thought the idea of a Phil Jones testimonial was bad? Imagine having one for Victor Lindelof. Maybe in another era, Lindelof could have been a valued squad player, but unfortunately for him, wrong place at the wrong time. Lindelof will leave the club this summer on a free transfer. Christian Eriksen. Not too many negatives to say about Eriksen really. Obviously impressed in his first season, but his physicality quite literally fell off of a cliff after that. He's been used as a squad player ever since, and don't get me wrong, he's still an extremely effective footballer and he's got that it factor, but he doesn't have the pace to play in Amorim's cam positions and he doesn't have the pace to play in the midfield. Whenever we hear what type of players Amorim wants to bring into the side, he mentions that they have to be physical, and Eriksen is never going to be that type of player. What I will say about Eriksen is that I'm very happy he got his opportunity to play for United after everything he went through in his personal life, to then get the opportunity to play for the greatest club in the world and win a couple of trophies. He without a doubt made the right choice. However, he's currently on a whopping 150k a week, and that is a massive amount of money to be able to reinvest into this squad. There's no time for sentimental value anymore. We need results. Eriksen will leave the club this summer on a free transfer. Jadon Sancho. A lot of negatives on this guy. He's 25 years old now, if you can believe it. He acts like a petulant teenager who's sulking because his mom hid his Xbox controller. He throws subliminal digs at Manchester United while pretending he's celebrating his friend's success. I would argue he's the worst Manchester United signing post Sir Alex. People may point to Anthony because he costs more, but one thing you couldn't question Anthony on was his attitude towards the club. Even when things weren't going his way, he acted professionally. And even now he's on loan, he's acting professionally. So I don't care about the extra 10 mil or whatever whatever it was, Jadon Sancho is without a doubt the worst post-Sir Alex signing we've had so far. He's currently on 150k a week. I pray every night before I go to bed that Chelsea activate the buy option. No time for him. Jadon Sancho will be sold this summer for a fee in the region of 15 to 25 million pounds. This is the thing, even though it's pretty self-explanatory why all these players will be leaving the club, and it doesn't look like it will be that impactful for the squad, in reality, we're freeing up £500,000 a week in wages by getting rid of these players. Money which could be distributed to youngsters coming through the ranks or new experienced players coming in. So overall, that is why these 5 players must leave Manchester United at the end of the season. Would you keep any of these players? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button for more honestly biased sports content, and don't forget to subscribe. But for now, Godspeed.